If you've been watching a lot of pornography, but you don't quite have the conviction on why you want to quit now, you're going to want to pay attention to this video. I've been reading this book about how pornography affects our brains. And in this video, I'll be explaining the key impacts that this behavior is having on your brain. So let's get into it. The four primary brain changes involved in addiction were recently outlined in a landmark review. These are the four biggest ways that your pornography addiction is affecting your brain. Quick disclaimer, this isn't medical advice. Pornography addiction isn't even technically recognized by the DSM-5, which is like the official manual used by therapists and psychologists to diagnose people. Anyway, let's get into it. So there is sensitization. This is a unconscious supermemory of a pleasure which triggers powerful cravings. This is a change that happens in your brain. So this applies to all addictions, but in this video we're talking about pornography. Do you ever get that feeling if when you were younger, when your parents finally left the house, and then all of a sudden you had tingles in your pants because you were so excited that you could finally have some privacy to go do your thing in your bedroom and watch these videos? Or you get a similar thing when you get that feeling of like, oh, now I can watch these videos. There's that excitement and that craving. This is what the scientists are calling sensitization. It's a literal change in your brain that unconsciously, when certain things happen, you get activated to deep, strong cravings. As soon as someone leaves and you're home alone and you see your computer, that excitement builds and those cravings activate in your mind. Number two, desensitization. It seems opposite, but it goes together here. So, desensitization is a numbed response to pleasure. This is why tolerance forms in all addicts with all substances and behaviors. You start using a certain amount of drug and then it doesn't do it for you anymore, so you go to more and more. This same thing happens with pornography, although it's not always just more and more of the same. In pornography, it looks like if I watch the same old video, I'll eventually get bored of it. That is desensitization. It's a change in your brain where someone who's never seen a porn video, if they get shown a vanilla, quote unquote, regular porn scene, that is going to provide so much dopamine and chemicals in their brain that it's going to be this huge, exciting event. But for someone who watches porn a lot, a regular vanilla porn video doesn't really do it for me anymore. This is why for people who watch a lot of porn, they end up escalating to different genres and taboos and exciting or scary or taboo videos to get that hit of brain chemicals. Again, a change in your brain. Number three, dysfunctional prefrontal circuitry. Technical name is hypofrontality, as the scientists call it. This is basically weakened willpower. So, frontal has to do with the prefrontal cortex, this part of your brain up here that will tell you you get an impulse to do something and then you can weigh logically in this part of your brain, is that a good idea? What are the results or implications? Is that a bad idea? What are the results or implication? People who suffer from addiction have their brain gets changed up here. And so specifically related to pornography, you might get the urge to do it, and that part of your brain that would consider, do I actually want to do this? What are the implications? How is this going to affect me or my relationship? Yada, yada. That part of our brain gets changed, and the ability to properly weigh the risks and rewards of things gets impacted. And then lastly, this is the number 4 of 4 of the changes to your brain when you watch too much pornography and develop an addiction. You get a malfunctioning stress system, which manifests as amplified cravings and inhibited willpower. So this goes hand in hand with the other ones. You may have noticed that a lot of the times you turn to your pornography use is when you're feeling very stressed. There's so much overwhelm, there's so much stress, and you just want to pull some lever so you can feel good, and you turn to open up that video because you've conditioned yourself. This has to do with the way you've wired your brain. Now, your stress responses are wired in to getting you to doing that same behavior. If any or all of these resonate with you, you are not alone on the journey to quitting pornography. I make these videos to provide you with free informational content to help you along your path. If you want extra support, click the link in the description and download the free PDF, which is a 5-step guide to quitting porn that I've created just for you. Till next time, take care.